Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review with some swatches of two of the latest products to come out with the Champagne collection by Becca Cosmetics for Jaclyn Hill. So she released an entire new collection recently, which was at the end of May, called the Champagne collection. Now the Champagne collection includes a face palette, an eyeshadow palette, a shimmering skin perfector liquid version of Champagne Pop, as well as a poured version of the shimmering skin perfectors, and I think that's it. And then the Champagne Pop itself as well on its own. Now I bought Champagne Pop way back last year whenever it first came out. I can't remember. Then I also got the limited edition holiday palette, which came with Pearl Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed, as well as Bronzed Copper, I think it was called, and then of course Champagne Pop. And then I also got a couple of things from this collection. Now the two things that I was really interested in getting were the face palette as well as the eyeshadow palette. Now this whole collection is limited edition and is available at Sephora only, as far as I'm aware. I don't know if it's going to be available direct through Becca Cosmetics themselves, because Becca is an American company and I don't really know, to be honest. And I'm sure at some point it may come over to the UK via Space NK and whatnot, but again, I can't 100% confirm because I don't work for this company, so I don't really know. And on the first day that it was released, everything did sell out. But to be fair, I ordered it within the first few minutes of it launching because I knew what time it was going to launch, and everything was still available an hour later on. So they did stock enough to cover off quite a lot of people. So more than likely you will get a chance to get your hand on it, even though it is limited edition, just like when Champagne Pop itself launched. It was limited edition. But and then I think the actual holiday palette was as well, but they stocked so many that in the end everybody had it anyway. It is limited edition, just meaning that it's only going to be out for a couple of months, and then after that you won't be able to buy it. So anyway, firstly I got my hair done today. What do you guys think? I finally got my roots touched up because my hairline was starting to resemble a zebra crossing, so I need to get that sorted out. And I got an inch chopped off my hair. My hair was a lot more wavier and neater earlier, but it is like gale force winds outside and I'm looking a bit windswept, to be honest. And I've had my makeup on for about 6 hours, 7 hours, looking quite good. Do have to say so myself. Anyway, back to the actual collection. So this is what the face palette itself looks like. It's an absolutely gorgeous looking palette, aesthetically, very aesthetically pleasing. The box itself just looks like this. It's gold with white accents, and then it's the other way around on here. It's white with gold accents. So this is just the box, and this is very durable, very high quality packaging. This is not cheap by any means. Becca generally don't tend to release cheap kind of products, cheap packaging as well. To me personally, Becca is an excellent brand. Actually, pretty much every single product, no, I'd say every product of theirs that I own, I rate very highly. I don't think I'd ever go below a 9 out of 10 for their stuff, so you can understand why Jaclyn Hill has chosen to collaborate with a company such as this. So this is what it looks like. It's gorgeous. Then you just open it up from here, and it's got an amazing mirror inside. Now the mirror itself is very, very good quality. Some brands, even though they have mirrors inside, sometimes the actual image itself is quite distorted. You look like you've got a really long nose or a really short chin, but the mirror on this, to be fair, is very, very good. And then you've got the list of all the names. Now that's probably my one gripe about this, is that the names aren't written on the palette itself. They're going to be written on here, and at this point, at some point, this will disappear or get thrown in the bin. And because it is all very metallic and reflective, this is a fingerprint nightmare. If you're one of those people that hates fingerprints on stuff, this may give you anxiety problems. Like, there's fingerprints all over it. Even at the moment, I've only used it twice and there's fingerprints all over it. But let me just show you what this palette actually looks like. This is what the actual palette itself looks like. It's got two shimmering skin perfector pressed, which is Champagne Pop, and Prosecco Pop, which is the new highlighter. Then on top you've got 3 blushes. These two are mineralized blushes, mineral blushes, sorry, and this is a shimmering skin perfector. This is a shimmering skin perfector blush. Now, just to get straight to the point, I'll give this a 10 out of 10. It's an excellent product. In terms of how it translated to in pounds, it cost about £35–36, which is really good considering a shimmering skin perfector on its own costs about 30 quid. So you're getting very good value for money. The shimmering skin perfector blushes are of a different consistency to normal blushes. They are exactly like the actual highlighters, the shimmering skin perfector press, just in a blushed version. And I already have one of them, which is called Snapdragon, and I think it's really good. The only issue that I have with that is the price. I just can't justify spending £29 or something on a tiny little blush, because they are actually quite small, but the quality themselves are very good. And I would definitely recommend this palette to everybody. It works across the board on very fair skin to very dark skin. Actually, for my dark skin ladies out there, this palette you will really love. The blushes are so pigmented that you don't even need to build them up. These aren't the kind of things you need to build up. These are the kind of things you need to build down, if that makes sense. Because one swipe and already you'll apply so much more blush than you actually realize that you needed to, so you're going to have to kind of tone it down a little bit. So I'm going to show you swatches of each one and then give you my thoughts. I am actually wearing it on my cheeks, on my face today, and I wore it yesterday, and I've already filmed a tutorial with this as well, so I will link all of that below for you. So I'll show you this one first, which is Champagne Pop. The Champagne Pop is a gorgeous peachy gold shade, works very well across all skin tones, and it's full on shimmer but very soft and easy to build up. You can have a very subtle highlight with this, or you can have a very full on one. This one, Champagne Pop, is probably my favorite highlighter out of all Becca Cosmetics ones. That and Opal. Maybe Opal is my favorite. But the Shimmering Skin Perfector Prests are my favorite highlighters in the entire market. This next shade here is the new highlighter called Prosecco Pop. And Prosecco Pop, as you can see, is a light medium gold shade. This one would definitely work better on darker skinned ladies. If you're one of those people that doesn't like Champagne Pop because you think it's too light and you have very dark skin, definitely Prosecco Pop is the one for you. I absolutely love this shade. Even though, because I'm medium skin tone, I find that this one shows up a lot more on me than this one. This one gives a more natural highlight because I've got very yellow skin. This shade here is called Rosé Spritz. And this is the one that is the Shimmering Skin Perfector Blush. This comes up as a very definite coral pink on me. It's got a metallic sheen, which is why it's very similar to the Shimmering Skin Perfectors, but obviously it's a blush version. That is one swipe on my hand. It is very pigmented, very easy to blend, but gives a very definite golden sheen to the skin, as well, as you can see as I turn my hand in the light. This shade here is called Amaretto, and this one is just a normal mineralized or mineral blush. I'm so used to saying mineralized because of MAC. This one is a really gorgeous rosy brown. This is the only one that I've not used yet, but this is, again, as you can see, very pigmented, and it's very soft and easy to blend and will work across the board on all skin tones. And then the final shade here is called Pamplemousse. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Pamplemousse. And this is also a mineral blush, and it's a really bright kind of hot pink almost, but like a bright coral pink. It's got definite warm undertones, and it is incredibly pigmented. It is the most pigmented out of all of these products. So that's it for the swatches. As you can see, they're all very pigmented. They're all very easy to blend, as I have seen myself. The only thing that I will say, and what I've noticed, is because I actually have got Champagne Pop as a single on its own, the quality of the product is different. I find that the ones that are in the singles are a lot more softer than these ones. Not to say that these are bad or that they're hard. I just find that when it comes to a lot of brands, when they release palettes and then they release singles, the quality changes. I don't know why a lot of brands tend to do that. But that's not to take away the fact that this is still an excellent product itself as a whole. And I will say that I think that the same is for the Shimmering Skin Perfector blush as well, because as I've said, I've got the single version of Snapdragon, and it's a lot more softer, not spongy, but just a lot softer, easier to break, easier to therefore blend onto the face as well. Now, even though the quality is not exactly the same as the singles, that doesn't mean that the color payoff itself isn't amazing. Now, I'm wearing this Pamplemousse color on my cheeks as a blush today, and I have mixed Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop, and I've used it as a highlight everywhere else. So I personally give this a 10 out of 10. It's an excellent product. It will be very easy to carry around. It might be a bit bulky for some, but you know what, you pay for the quality of the product as well as the packaging, and I personally think that it's a really good product. So the next thing, as I mentioned, that I got was the Jaclyn Hill Champagne Collection eye palette. Also comes in a very similar box as the face palette, and the difference between that packaging and this one is that this one is completely gold. My fingerprints are literally all over it. You can see my mirror at the back of my room. Look at the fingerprints all over it. It's really annoying, but you know what, I kind of gave up trying to clean it off. So straight off the bat, 10 out of 10. This is probably the best product in the entire collection, even more so than the face palette. This is just like, oh my god, I'm so glad that I got it. It comes again with an excellent mirror with the names written on this instead of on here, and it comes with 5 eyeshadows all together. And let me just show you how they look. Sorry if it's a bit dusty. I have used it and I am using it. If you're wondering, I'm using the entire palette on my eyes today. But this is how it looks. It's got 3 matte shades and then 2 shimmering shades over here. So I'm just going to swatch these for you and then I'm going to give you my thoughts. So this first shade here is called Bordeaux, and it is a beautiful matte deep plum shade, a deep dusky plum. Really easy to blend, really nicely pigmented. It's absolutely excellent shade. This shade is called Cognac. This is a warm toned brown and it's also matte. It's not as dark as the Bordeaux shade, but it is amazing to use in the crease, and I have used it in my outer V as well. You would have seen in my last tutorial. It gives a very kind of soft definition to the eye. This shade in the middle is called Cordial. It's just a very soft mauvey shade. Now, it is very easy to blend, very soft. I love this shade. I've used it in my crease 2 days in a row. I'm not too sure how that is going to show up on darker skin tones. If you can imagine, it shows up on me to a certain extent. If you're a lot darker than me, it may show up ashy. I'm not too sure. Now moving on to the shimmery shades. This one here is called Champagne Toast. And this one is a very full-on shimmering golden bronze shade. It's absolutely gorgeous. This would look amazing on like Asian skin tones, dark skin tones, very fair as well. It's absolutely gorgeous, very heavily pigmented, easy to apply, and I absolutely love it. And then the last shade here is called Chardonnay. And Chardonnay is a full-on light gold shade. It's again very heavily pigmented and very shimmery. And I love this. This is what I'm wearing on my lid today, on my tear duct, and on my brow bone as well. The reason I love this palette so much is because you can go so easily from daytime looks to nighttime looks. Even my mum, who doesn't really wear that much makeup, well, she does a little bit, but she's not really a fan, I'd say, of my full-on glam, colourful, bright makeup looks. She much more prefers a lot more softer looks. And when she saw me wear this the other day, she was like, oh my god, I love what you've got on your eyes. And I was just like, really? Right, that's not like you to say that kind of thing. I love you, mum, by the way. And yeah, so it's so easy to go from your daytime looks to your nighttime looks. You can come up with really beautiful soft looks. This isn't the kind of makeup palette where you can come up with a full-on smoky eye. However, the fact that there are 3 different matte shades and they're 3 really nice, like kind of well-rounded matte shades as well, makes it so much easier to come up with different types of looks. Now obviously there are only 5 shades. You will be limited to how many looks you can come up with, but the 2 shimmering shades really make it for wearing on the lid. So like I said, this is what I'm wearing on my eyes today. I'm actually really happy with this. I don't own any other Becca eyeshadows. These are the first Becca eyeshadows I've ever bought, and I am very pleasantly surprised. Actually, I wasn't expecting to be as happy with this as I am. It's not just that, the quality of the blending is so, they're so soft that they just blend like a dream. I'm talking about the matte shadows, because obviously with the shimmering shadows you don't blend, you just kind of apply, pat onto the lid. But the matte shadows themselves, they blend like a couple of swipes and they're done. You really don't have to work that hard. You don't really get that many harsh lines because the colours blend so beautifully into each other as well. So that's it. So that is my review along with swatches, part of the new Becca Jaclyn Hill Champagne collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. And I absolutely love the highlight. Champagne Pop is one of my hands down favourites. Prosecco Pop now as well is gorgeous. I absolutely love it. But definitely, like I said, for my darker skin tone ladies, you need this for Prosecco Pop. Even if you didn't like Champagne Pop because you found it a bit too light on your skin and therefore it made you look a little bit more unnatural in terms of having a highlight. Golden highlights obviously go a lot better on darker skin tones than more light highlights, which can look a bit too icy and a little bit too ivory and just not quite right. And then the blushes, all the other 3 blushes, they will work perfectly on darker skin tones as well. So I'm really happy to see that Becca has catered towards all skin tones just from using only a couple of little products. So that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.